job for me. Greetings, fellow nerds. I'm Chris, and welcome back to Dees Nerds, and it's time to watch Suicide Squad. So if you just want to fast forward right to the beginning of the movie, you can do so right here. And if you just want to go to my final thoughts, you can go right here. So of course, this is the third video in the 4-video series that we're doing, where we're doing the journey to the Snyder Cut. Now, of course, first we did Man of Steel, then we did Batman v Superman, and now's the third one, Suicide Squad. Next week, we'll drop the Justice League version of Justice League before, the Snyder Cut actually comes out on the 18th. So super excited for the Snyder Cut and really excited to revisit this film. It's actually been a little bit since I've watched it. It's been at least a couple of years, whereas with Man of Steel and Batman v Superman, that's a really regular viewing occurrence for me. I'd say at least once a year, maybe even in case Batman v Superman, I may be viewing it twice a year. This one is definitely, it's been a couple years since I've watched it, so I'm very excited to kick in on it. And like Batman v Superman, it's a very controversial film. Did really well at the box office. Critics hated it, and audiences were, even though it did well, it was kind of and I still do like the movie, and I'm excited to kind of sit down and watch it again. Okay, first of all, I am a big fan of all the neon colors and everything. I think this definitely differentiates this film from a lot of other movies, especially the first two in the Snyderverse. House of the Rising Sun, always a win. I really love Will Smith as Deadshot in this. I just feel like he brings a lot to the role, and he actually has some of the best parts of this film. Margot Robbie as Harley Quinn. What else can I say? I mean, she took an animated character and she brought her to life. She is Harley Quinn. I mentioned back in Batman v Superman, like how Gal Gadot and Jason Momoa were like these left field choices for those characters. Margot Robbie was like, the instant that she was cast, it was like perfect. And who else are you gonna, it was just perfect. It was on the nose. I can't say enough good things about the choice.
Oh my god.
Margot Robbie or not though, that's gross. I love all the neon and kind of the distortion of everything. It very much kind of shows Harley's kind of mental psyche and how she kind of views things. It's a very interesting choice.
That is just a whole lot of pretty and a whole lot of crazy.
Yup. Of course, I love a lot of older music, so I'm a huge Rolling Stones fan, so anytime we can have Sympathy for the Devil in here is a great choice. Plus, how else to, what other song are you going to use for Amanda Waller? And thanks for reminding me that Superman died in the last movie. Let me tell you something, Viola Davis's Amanda Waller is just a stroke of genius, and I'm so happy to hear that she's going to continue on being Amanda Waller in the new Suicide Squad movie, because she is perfect. Again, great casting choice. I appreciate all the flashbacks and ways they kind of introduce everyone on Task Force X, but at the same time, there's so much that they cram through in such a short amount of time at the beginning of this movie. Man, I would have loved to have seen some different movies, like maybe, a Joker Harley Quinn movie where, they kind of tell that whole backstory leading up to the events of this film. Maybe a film involving Deadshot, a Batman film beforehand where they deal with, maybe you have Killer Croc in a scene, or, different rogues. It would have been really cool to kind of see some of that, but whereas here, we're dealing with a ton of backstory and a ton of history in a very short amount of time. Remember what the Joker said in The Dark Knight about if you're good at something, never do it for free? Deadshot learned that lesson well. I will say what backstory you get is really beneficial to Deadshot here. It really helps humanize him and make him, he goes from villain to anti-hero, I think, really quickly throughout this film. Batfleck! Oh yeah, that's, wow. As brutal as they showed Batman in Batman v Superman, I really appreciate here that they kind of show that Bruce has regained his compassion and a lot of his humanity. Now I'm watching the extended edition of the Blu-ray here, and even still, we have so much backstory between Harley and Joker to go into. Man, what a missed opportunity here. Jared Leto as the Joker, I think probably might be one of the most controversial elements of this movie. When he was first cast, I thought, Jared Leto is fantastic. Love the casting choice. It is a very different take on the Joker. Whereas I feel like Heath Ledger's version of the Joker was different in all the right ways. I feel like this one was different in all the ways that really ticked off a lot of fans for some reason. I don't necessarily have as much of an issue with it as a lot of people do. I just kind of wish we'd have seen more. I'm not really actually ready to make a judgment on this Joker. because I feel like we see so little and we don't see him interact with Batman, which is a huge part of kind of judging, a Joker, in my opinion. That I'm really, I know that David Ayer had this movie kind of taken away from him and kind of hatcheted to bits by Warner Brothers and trying to make it more fun and everything, kind of the wake of Batman v Superman. So I would really love to see David Ayer's original film and how this originally played out, because I guess, if we're talking about grades, it gets an I. It's incomplete. Common, your first mistake was just mentioning Harley at all. She actually said it.
You don't want no beef? You don't want no beef?
You don't like me?
Oh, you better run, dude. I do appreciate that you've got Batman in here enough that it makes sense, because like you think about like Birds of Prey, and I'll do a watch along on that eventually. It's like, how are we having this much go on in Gotham City and not having Batman a part of it? It matters. So I appreciate that they were able to bring Ben Affleck's Batman into this. Epic Batman dive, and of course the Joker bails, leaving Harley defend for herself. Chai Courtney as Captain Boomerang here is so awesome.
Honor among thieves, eh?
Flash cameo. Boom! Again, Killer Croc, another Batman villain that just hasn't gotten his due in live action. Great version of him in Batman the Animated Series.
Or a giant skinless goat.
Yum. I think Enchantress is cool in this film, but it doesn't fit with the rest of the film. I think I remember Chris Duckman in his review of this movie kind of talking about like it would have made more sense for it to be kind of like some type of military operation that the Suicide Squad goes in to kind of take care of, but taking care of some supernatural element, it just doesn't quite fit to me. And so I agree with his assessment there.
What if Superman had decided to fly down, rip off the roof of the White House, and grab the President of the United States right out of the Oval Office?
That would have been Zod. That effect right there is so cool. It's like one of my favorite shots in the entire movie. I mean, I would have loved to have seen Enchantress in some sort of film involving like, I don't know, Constantine or Justice League Dark or something like that. It would have fit perfectly in this version with Cara Delevingne. Again, I'm terrible with names, so sorry. But I mean, it would have been incredible, but it just can't quite make it fit.
Kiss her ass, she's in charge.
Welcome, man. How are you? Yo, essay. Hola, amigo. Put that burrito down. You got visitors, man.
So racist. I mean, come on. It's 2016. He couldn't have put Felicia down there at the bottom.
If this man shoots me, I want you to kill him. And I want you to go clear my browser history.
What a creep.
Why would we give a loaded weapon to an infamous hitman?
Well, Amanda Waller, you're a sadistic son of a you-know-what, so... Like, the legitimate idea that you could hit a same spot on the target enough that it would eventually cause a hole through it is awesome. Now, this is Will Smith doing some Will Smith stuff right here. Okay, I get all of it, everything, but why did Joker, like, draw an outline around his lips? Alright, this is always a cool shot. And what's up with the onesies? Like, clearly they're wanting to make little Joker babies. Please get rid of that shirt. Set that thing on fire. There is nothing more intimidating than having a dude chopping meat in the corner, just chop, chop, chop. How much does a position like that pay? I could do that job. I can say this about this scene. Jared Leto's performance and the Joker in this scene is genuinely unsettling. Okay, so I get everything and Enchantress and all that stuff, but then all of a sudden, we just, midway through, we go, brother, sister, like, and they introduce, Incubus into this, and, granted, it's just, it feels so rushed. It doesn't feel like it's earned at all, and it's just like the next thing you know, like they're introducing the brother, and we just really don't have any backstory to any of this. Yeah, we have this one little scene right here, but it's like, that's it. I don't get it, and it doesn't make sense to me. Might as well have fun, right, Harley? Gangsta Joker. Love that one of the goons has an actual Batman mask. I mean, yeah, if you want your Joker in the traditional outfits, you're not going to get it in this movie. And then, like, apparently her brother can give her some of his heart and can keep her alive. Yeah. I will say, though, I think Enchantress here looks awesome. It's a really cool look. Seven Nation Army, once again, always a win.
Hi, boys. Harley Quinn. How you doing?
Oh, Margot, Robbie, you're awesome.
Sorry. The voices. I'm kidding. Jeez. That's not what they really said.
Oh, man, that's just an awesome Harley scene right there.
Welcome to the party, Captain Boomerang.
Jump out and punch somebody. Love it.
Here comes Slipknot, the man who can climb anything. Wonderful.
So Slipknot just gets introduced like with a one-line throwaway kind of thing, so obviously he's going to stick around for the entire movie.
Think you heard of Phil Jackson? Yeah. He's like the gold standard. Okay?
He is one of the greatest coaches of all time. I love this soundtrack. Eminem, again, always a win. This looks like a job for me, so everybody just follow me, because we need little controversy, because it feels so empty without me. Yep, everyone's staring at you.
Speak for yourself, mate. Wait, what's that crap on your face? Does it wash off? So that's it. What, we some kind of suicide squad?
A bit too on the nose and a bit too corny for my taste.
This is Katana. She's got my back. She can cut all you in half.
Okay, first of all, Katana is cool. Very cool. Secondly, again, rushing through it, we get like one little scene where Rick Flag explains everything about her, and we get nothing else. And now it's like we just move on. Again, it's like everything about this movie is just rushed. I like the Kentucky Headhunters version of Spirit in the Sky better, just personally. Well, this mission is off to a great start.
That's what I do.
I am so surprised that he died.
You're my friend, too.
I totally ship Harley and Deadshot. I mean, considering the company that's included here, of course they're going to try to figure out a way to escape as soon as they hit the ground.
What did you say to him?
Nothing. Just having a laugh.
I really want to know what he said to Killer Croc. Ew? Yeah, that's all sorts of freaky. Like I said, Katana's cool. The pink unicorn! What was that about cutting and running again? Very Harley.
What the hell's wrong with you people?
We're bad guys. It's what we do.
And now we're in a flashback scene. This is a little... It does feel a little odd to throw this in at this point in the film. I will say it does show that, you know, Harley's every bit as crazy as the Joker is. Anyone that thinks that, you know, the Joker and Harley are this model relationship to base everything on, get that out of your head. These are toxic, terrible people. This is not a healthy relationship. If you think this is, please get some help. I do love this whole scene where, you know, Harley's just trying to like get under people's skin and really show like, you know, that she at one point was a psychologist in her background. And I mean, but then at the same time, she is all sorts of crazy.
Hey, guys.
She's done. Okay, that was a seriously cool move. Okay, so Deadshot's mask, well, I like it. It looks cool in this film. It's like, we only see it like twice, and it, to me, it's like, well, why have it at all?
Touch me. What you gonna do? I'm touching you. I'm touching you. Do something. Touch me. Do something.
Well, that'll help. This scene, this flashback, and again, it's like, oh, we really need a Joker Harley Quinn kind of movie here that would really go into this in depth, but this whole scene here is just absolutely magnificent. Like, that shot there is just awesome. And I love that it kind of explains how she has like the pink or reddish part and blue part to her hair because it was his shirt and her shirt kind of mixing together. Very cool. Like, of course Amanda Waller would be the asset. Man, that is cold.
I'm the bad guy.
I think that line right there is at the heart of it. I mean, you know, like the people in the Suicide Squad, I mean, they're bad people, they're criminals. But really the bad person in this is Amanda Waller.
No way.
Way.
I like her.
Surprise! Deadshot has a heart. Who knew? Oh, yeah. Ooh. And she took a licking and kept running. Whew. Yeah, I think after everything they've been through up to this point, I think they deserve a drink. Dang, when Katana walks out on you, you know you've been bad. I can see where some people would say that this scene really drags the movie down a bit, but I actually think that this is one of the better scenes in the film, and just it does more of what this film does best, and what its biggest strength is the interaction amongst all of these characters. It's really where this film shines, and so more of that only helps.
Whiskey.
Nice. I'll give this film a lot of credit. They do make you care about Diablo. You know you've done something bad when you've shook hardcore criminals like these.
I'm beautiful.
Body positivity.
Your daughter writes you every day.
That's a heck of a thing to keep from him.
Y'all are just tourists.
Man, Killer Croc is so cool in this.
Now they say they're the crazy ones.
Huh?
Ears burning, Harley. What is this thing? It's ridiculous. So Harley just wants a normal life with the Joker, and it is very unsettling to see, after you've seen the Joker throughout this whole film, the way he looks, to then see him look normal. It's almost, ugh. You know, that's really hard to turn down when you can basically be granted a chance at what you truly want. That's tough. It's like, what good are bullets, boomerangs, and baseball bats gonna do? That is just cool. That's good football blocking technique right there. Well, I'm glad you care, Enchantress, because I don't. I still have a problem with, if Incubus was so powerful and, like, you know, he went up against Diablo and all that was all powerful and almost godlike, how did a big bomb take him out? I gotta say, with a threat like this, I kind of feel like we needed, like, Wonder Woman or The Flash or Batman on this one.
You messed with my friends.
Nice. Slow-mo makes everything cool. Man, the bombs in this movie are powerful. She's okay. I really hope that they're together in the new Suicide Squad movie, or that's just going to be a lot of things they went through for nothing.
The hypotenuse, so you have to know this angle.
Oh yeah, I figure Deadshot knows his angles really well. Is this just fantasy? Queen is a win. Let's all be as happy as Killer Croc is watching BET. You kidding? Joker don't die unless it's in Batman 1989 or Batman Beyond Return of the Joker. Yes, Ben Affleck is Bruce Wayne. Oh, Amanda Waller and Bruce, they have a love-hate relationship for sure, and a lot of it's based on mutual benefits kind of thing. And
you should shut it down. My friends and I'll do it for you.
oh, it would be so cool to have a movie where it was kind of like a Justice League versus Suicide Squad, but it's more like, you know, kind of like Argus, and really needing to shut this down, and that whole dynamic between Amanda Waller and Bruce Wayne, and there's being an all-out war at the end of that would be so cool. I don't think we're going to get it, but that's okay. I mean, this the thought would be really, really cool if that could ever happen. But yeah, that's Suicide Squad 2016. For my kind of thoughts overall with the film, this movie is both enjoyable for me and really frustrating because what it does well, it does really well. The casting, mainly, between all Suicide Squad, Margot Robbie as Harley Quinn, Will Smith as Deadshot. I forget what actor played like Killer Croc, but he was great in that role. Jai Courtney as Boomerang. Katana. Rick Flag. Those people. Diablo. Those people and their interactions and their chemistry together is what saves this movie. This movie is not a great movie if that doesn't work. This movie is actually a really poor movie if that doesn't save it. Because there's a lot of stuff surrounding this movie from, like just the whole plot of Enchantress that I think is really weak. And, I think Michelle said it best. This is a really strong cast with a very weak story, and I'm inclined to agree. But that's the frustrating part is there's a lot of things it does really well. There's a lot of things it does not well at all. And, kind of as you learn more about like what David Ayer and what kind of happened with this movie, especially after Batman v Superman came out and Warner Brothers had the knee-jerk reaction and really kind of went in, re-edited the film, tried to turn it into a more kind of light, almost MCU-ish kind of feel to it, which really in a lot of cases doesn't work. It works in certain places, it doesn't work in some cases. But you can tell like there's some kind of choppy editing that can happen in parts of this movie that's kind of perplexing. Apparently, according to just different things I've read, there are a lot of things that if David Ayer had his cut, which apparently he could easily do because everything's been shot and everything's pretty much ready to go. You just have to go and edit it the way he wants to. It's almost as transformative of what apparently the Snyder Cut of Justice League is going to be for that film. So I would be very interested to see this cut and to do a final grade or a kind of a final opinion on this film after seeing that. But there's enough here for me to enjoy this film. I don't typically skip over it if I'm going to like sit there and watch all of these DCEU movies. It is one that I want to revisit. Now, I don't revisit it as often as I do Man of Steel or Batman v Superman. I think that this is worth a watch. I think that it's got enough that it does well that it is an enjoyable watch. Margot Robbie, Will Smith, and Viola Davis save this movie, and that cast together save this movie, because otherwise we'd be looking at like a Fantastic Four kind of situation. So would love to hear your thoughts on Suicide Squad, because I know this is the type of movie that would definitely I've seen some very differing opinions on both sides. So would love to hear your thoughts on this. As well, if you like this video, please give it a thumbs up. Let me know that you enjoyed it. And if you like what we're doing here at Dees Nerds, please subscribe to our channel. We're just two nerds on one channel talking about the things we love and why we do them. And, we're also on Twitter, Instagram, and Facebook. So if you're missing us in between videos, you can follow us there. And we also have merch. We have our Teespring link down in the description. So you can go in there and peruse our offerings, buy a shirt, buy a mug, anything to support this channel. We just greatly appreciate it. So guys, hey, this is the third video of 4 videos that we're doing leading up to the Snyder Cut. So we're going to be doing Justice League coming up next. I'm kind of looking at it as I'm putting that version of Justice League to bed. So, please feel free to watch the next one as well. If you have not watched the first 2 in this series, which was me watching Man of Steel and me watching Batman v Superman, go check those out. And, hey guys, we're just really excited for the Snyder Cut coming up on March 18th and just ready to sit down for about 4 hours and just bask in the glory of finally getting to see Zack Snyder's vision. So, hey guys, until next time, I am Chris. We are Dees Nerds. You guys have a great, safe rest of the day. Bye, guys.